My fellow traders, what's happening? I hope you guys had a great weekend and had a great start to this week. Man, we woke up to, I guess we can't say it's a surprise because, the market was making a move up into the close on Friday. And, we woke up with it continuing that push up and, poised to make new highs. And it did that. Had a really, really good day today. But the question that I get a lot is, are we there yet? Are we at the top yet? And the honest answer, I don't have a clue. No, nobody's going to know where the top is until the top puts itself in. We can guess and guess and guess, but we're not going to know for sure until it happens. So what we have to do is trade each day. It's a little bit difficult right now with swing trading. I'm just holding out faith that the market's going to hold up until I get to my targets. But eventually, I'm just going to start sitting on my hands waiting for a correction to happen. But when we look at the technicals, it's all telling us that it's still strong. It's still really strong. If we look at the last couple of pullbacks we had, I never fell for that. Every time it just felt like a bear trap. It was never showing any signs of real weakness, and we haven't seen any. We've pretty much held the 5-day moving average throughout. We had one little hiccup day. We know what happened this day, and here we go. But tomorrow is going to be interesting because the consumer confidence index comes out at 10 o'clock. This comes out on the last Tuesday of every month. And this kind of gives us an idea of what the consumer attitudes concerning their buying and everything at that point. And the data is broken down really good. They look at it by age, income, region, and all that good stuff. And it's based on a probability design random sample, which is really powerful. So we saw a decline in July after a big gain in June. We all know why the numbers were down, but things started to open up at the beginning of June. We saw a big gain in the consumer confidence index. But then July, last month, we saw the big decline. And no doubt that's a result of the resurgence in COVID-19. Everything was looking good. Had we continued and not rushed to open up, I think we could have dealt with the numbers a little bit better. But, it is what it is now. There's nothing we can do about it other than make it work. So it showed on the last index that consumers have grown less optimistic about this short-term outlook, the short-term recovery. It started so fast, and then all of a sudden, it just started slowing. A lot of people went back to work kind of at one time, so of course the numbers are going to start slowing. But we seem to be going backwards in terms of the new unemployment and the new unemployment requests. It's hard to see where we're going to go from here, because I think the fact that the money ran out, the stimulus package that they had coming in ran out July 31st. A lot of the money that was flowing into the economy is not flowing right now. It hasn't been for the last couple of weeks. That's gonna hurt the numbers. I mean, if it doesn't, I'm gonna be really, really surprised. But everybody that's uncertain about their future, the short-term future. It just doesn't bode well for our economic recovery, nor for consumer spending. Now, the people that have money are spending it. There's no doubt about that. People who are sitting back waiting to invest in real estate and things like that. Yeah, the real estate prices are higher because there's less properties on the market, but you have more people buying because the interest rates are so low. You have more people building because the interest rates are so low, even though the cost of goods is higher. So there's the only bright spot right now in the economy. But how many people in the economy has the money to do all of that? And so people that were protected under the the CARES Act that keep them from getting evicted and foreclosed on, that ran out too. The executive order, if you take time to read it, does not protect anybody. It just has different groups. It directed them to do research to find out if if it was a good idea to continue down the road that we were on, where we protected people from getting evicted, protected people from getting foreclosed on. So the order doesn't say that to halt them. So there's no protection right now. And so I don't know where that's going to go. So it's going to be interesting. The only thing is, I wish I could be here at 10 o'clock tomorrow to watch it, but my son has his appointment at 10 o'clock tomorrow to get his laptop and activities for school. They start next week on Monday, so got to get all that stuff squared away in the morning. So I'm going to miss it. And I think it might be really, really volatile tomorrow, especially when those numbers come out. And if the numbers that I expect to come out. So it's going to be interesting going forward. But you can see what happened today. I mean, really nice move in the SPY. We pulled all the way back and retested this level and ended at the highs. Very bullish action right here. I can look at these technicals. The RSI nowhere near overbought. I go by 80. 70 doesn't mean a damn thing to me. If it gets over 80, then I start looking at it being overbought. We're not even close to that. Look at the MACD. We're practically right on top of each other. We don't have any separation. So there's room for it to go and make this huge move if the people drive it. If it doesn't get driven there and we're just sitting here, I'm scared that, I look at this like a hot air balloon. The more hot air that you put in it, the higher this thing is going to go. And that's what we're doing. We're continuing to blow hot air in this balloon that we call the market, and it keeps going up a little bit, going up a little bit. It's kind of maintaining. Now, eventually, we can put too much in it, and it burns a hole in the top of it, and we come crashing down. Hopefully, it just kind of puts a little hole in it. We may get a little leak, and we pull back a little bit, and then we pull back a little bit, then we pull back a little bit. That's the kind of pullback I want to see. I don't want... Now, yeah, I think I can make more money if we wash, but I don't know how good that's going to be long term. Short term, it'll be great, but I'm looking for long term in making money in the market. So that's my view on it. So OSTK this morning, I got really, really upset with myself because I did something that I don't normally do or don't ever do this. I never set a buy stop to get in a stock at a certain price. I never do that. But I was looking at OSTK. I knew that this stock could give us huge moves today. And I never buy these things on the initial break. I always let it put in the top and then go ahead and put in and try to get in once it breaks a certain price level. And in this case, I was looking for 127.25. And I was trying to put in a buy stop. And evidently I did it wrong, because as soon as I sent the order out, it filled. And got that deer in the headlight look, and this thing washed out like you wouldn't believe. These moves are wicked early. And so I ended up, taking it off. I tried to be strong and hold it for a little bit, give it the room that I felt it needed in order to make the move, and it just didn't happen. So, but I wasn't so mad about the loss. That's going to happen. I can deal with those. It's the fact that it was an error in execution, and it was based on FOMO. I had the fear of missing out on this trade because I missed it a couple of times last week where it moved so fast I couldn't get in. And so I did something I shouldn't do. I listened to somebody with a lot less experience than me saying, why don't you put in a buy stop order and all this? That's not what I do. So I'm not going to change it up. And this is what happens, especially when you don't practice it, when you don't test it in the right environment to make sure you got it down before you start using it. So I can't blame anybody but myself, but this is a mistake that never really should have happened. And so it frustrated me beyond belief. But you could see this actually set up really nice and gave, this could have been a trade I could have worked all day. All day. It really would have been a nice trade, but woulda, coulda, shoulda done pay the bills. And I'm still a little bit upset. So it took me a long time to deal with this. Now what happened, I almost immediately got in another trade, which was this NVAX. This one, really nice opening range breakdown. This is the one I should have gotten in, but I didn't, because I was still messed up about the OSTK trade. So I waited for the bounce, the rejection. I got in, and it started to go against me. I started getting those bad feelings about taking it off, and I just doing all kind of crazy stuff. So I had to walk away. I just had to leave it alone, let the trade work, and walk away. I knew what I was looking for. I knew technically I was really safe with the technicals, and it was just a matter of letting it run and letting it do its job. And so eventually it hit the first target, hit the second target, which was the low here, and then we came back. Now, yeah, I could have taken, I didn't want to take it off too soon because I wanted to give it a chance to test the 9. I really could have deferred to the 20, but I said, look, if it goes up here and rejects and we lose the bottom of this channel, I'm going to take the trade again. So I was just waiting to load back up, and it bounced. It gave us kind of a double bottom here, almost a triple bottom, because it bottomed here again, bottomed here again. So once we got over to 20, I'm like, hey, this is a good scalp. $1.50 right up the VWAP. So I can add some more to the pot and turn this day positive. And so it came close. It gave us a really good aggressive move up, but did not come close enough for me to take profit. Might have came within 10 cents of the low range of me taking profit, but it didn't. And I tried to wait And again, once we lost the 9 and everything, had to take it off. So, really, this is kind of a bad deal today. But it would have been bad. Look at the OSTK. This is what happened. I mean, really, the loss should have been half this. But because of the nature of what happened and me getting really upset with myself, I wasn't mad at the market. I wasn't mad at anything else. I knew I did it and I messed it up. And I think I might have been green had I not messed up on this trade. Shoot, had I taken half off here and stopped out at break even, I'd have been good. Even better. But I'm okay. I feel better. I'd rather be down 219.27 going into tomorrow. A fresh start. I can't trade the morning, but maybe the afternoon will give us something. The afternoons have really, really been bad. Really bad in terms of price action and all that stuff. But maybe tomorrow will be a better day. So minus 219.27 to start the week out. DKS, I did get a swing entry here, and I forgot to post the execution. But I posted it in chat. So if you want, you can log in chat, and under the swing trade tab, it has the entry price. But we got in right according to plan. When it opened, it started to sell off. Typically, when you open on a gap like this, it will sell, and I just caught it on the bounce. Once it sold off and started to bounce, that's when I jumped in. But it triggered an entry because it opened higher than the previous day's close. I'm looking for $50 for my first target, and I think it's going to be a really good, could be a really good trade. This is the earnings swing trade. It's the one we looked at yesterday. It's a technical swing. It's a 20 moving average cross setup. Also, it's an earnings trade. I'm looking at it running up into earnings. So 50 is just the first target. I'm expecting it to, get a little bit higher, and then we'll go from there. When I think earnings on this is on Thursday, so we got a couple of days to get there. DE, this was the one that we've been in for a couple of days. This is the one we got in as a pre-earnings trade here. It actually pulled back and allowed me to get in, add to my position to trade into earnings. And so we got the 200. That was our first trade. We took some off there and then took some off today. Oh, you can see the entry price on DKS here, 46.57. And then I took some off on here, so we locked in another 1,300 bucks on DE. Hold on, I'm missing something. I am missing something because I wanted to show you guys. I wanted to show you guys. Oh yeah, here it is. It was out of place. Okay, I wanted to show you guys the executions here. This is the one, and I show you in chat. We're not going to stream the swing platform all day because number one, you're not supposed to be watching it all day, and it could get really, really boring if you are, and it makes you do stupid stuff. So swing trades are designed for you just to set it and forget it. But because DOS doesn't register from day to day, I just download everything to TraderView. So tomorrow morning, I'll be able to download the execution from today and it'll post it on here, and I'll have that back up on the website. But I try to keep all of the swings updated on the website. So if you're not in chat, if you're not a member, you could follow along. Or if you are and you're not in chat that day, you can actually see what's happening. But this will be updated tomorrow on the website. So we locked in 1940, and then another 1332. So not bad. If we get the final push here up through 210, this will be a really, really good trade. Now, I'm working on a presentation for swings, and you'll be able to see the calendar. I started doing a profit calendar on swings because everybody's been interested in it. They want to see how everything adds up. And so I've done that, and I'm doing a presentation on swings early this week, and I'm going to invite you guys to a free webinar I'm going to do on how I do swing trading, and how I get the results that I get. Just like I did on day trading, I'll do it on swing trading. But just like day trading, market conditions can get to the point where there are no moves to trade, or when you trade them, you really don't get what you want. You just have to kind of wait for things to come back around and pick you up, and then you can continue to go. But most of the time, when day trading is slow, swing trading is good. And when swing trading is slow, day trading is good. And oftentimes, they're both good together. And that's when we really have fun. But stay tuned for that. But you guys have a great night, and I will catch you in the morning.